Let's take a look at the format Excel uses to store dates and times. To say it simply, all dates and times are stored as a number of days from January 1st, 1900. So that'll sound a little strange at first. So let's look at some examples. Over on the left here, I have some sample dates like January 1st, 1900, January 30th, 2014, things like that. Well, these are all in the cell. Those are stored just as a number, and we use the formatting here to make them look like dates for a human. So let's go into column B and take a look at what those dates would look like without formatting. So I will say equals A5, enter, and of course I see the exact same thing as A5, but now I'll go into the formatting and change the formatting from date to general. Note that your ribbon may look a little different than mine. I have Excel kind of sized down small for the purposes of the video. And so there you have it. Equals A5 is just a 1. Why? How many days is that since January 1st, 1900? 1. Well, it's the first day. Let's use the fill handle and copy that equals down for all of these. What that says is January 30th, 2014 is 41,669 days after January 1st, 1900. And I put January 31st there just so you can see that that's 41,670 days. All right, now let's come down the page. Time is done in the same way. Kind of strange, number of days for time, but it is. Let's look at 8 o'clock. 8 a.m. is it is 1/3 of the way through a day, right? If you think about it, a day is 24 hours long, and so 8 a.m. would be 8 hours through that 24-hour day, and that's why the underlying storage in the computer is 0.333. It just says that's 1/3 of the day, and it's really 0.33 days since 12 a.m. on January 1st, 1900. And then just as some other examples, 11:30 is almost halfway through the day, is why you see it as 0.47. And then 15:53 is in the afternoon. You see that's more than halfway through the day, 0.661806. Sometimes this is helpful to us, and sometimes it's not. Let's look at if we want to figure out how long is a project in days. Well, it started, say, on 2/14/2013, and it ran until 3/5/2013. Given that both of those are a number of days, all we have to do is subtract those. So we can say equals the ending day minus the beginning day, hit enter, and we can see it was a 19-day project. So that kind of helped us out knowing the underlying fact. Now, it's a little different with hours, right, because the number's in days, so we'll have to convert it to hours. So if somebody starts work at 9 o'clock and they work till, let's say 3 p.m., which would be 15 o'clock. You can notice the 24-hour clock used by Excel. And then those can be subtracted. And we're going to see that the formatting default here is incorrect. It formatted as a time. It thought we were working with time, but let's just go back to general. Kind of an important note here. Always go back to general if you think the formatting may be hiding some information from you. General. And so 0.25, well, that's in days actually, right? So from beginning time to ending time in days, they worked, how long they worked there? Right, 6 hours, quarter of a day, right? So this is in days. So to convert days to hours, we multiply by 24 hours. If they worked one day, we'd say they worked 24 hours. So if they worked a quarter of a day, they've worked a quarter of 24. So times 24, enter. And now we can see they worked a 6-hour day. So in that way, knowing that the underlying value is in days, sometimes that helps us out and simplifies the problem. Sometimes not, but we need to know it if we're going to try to do math with dates and times. Thanks.